Hey, what is up, gamers? This is another short update of my NES game. We will take a look at the changes that I made since my last video. And as always, if you want to see what's new for yourself, you can download the ROMs from the links in the description. So I somehow managed to fix the music problems. The annoying farting is finally gone. It used to happen because after starting a new song, I would try immediately load a bunch of stuff, like screens and tile sets. Obviously, the NES is not that fast and could not update the music in time. So the song would get stuck on that single note until the loading was over. But now before I load everything, I tell to Family Studio to stop the song and only start it when the loading is finished. I also found out that I was loading tilesets pointlessly while I was going from one room of the same type to another, and that also created a hiccup in the music. In my last video I promised to add some new creatures to the alien base. I figured I'd need more rooms for the new creatures to run around it, so I added another set of rooms in between the puzzle room and the last area. Then I thought, you know what, the alien base can wait. I actually want to add some new creatures to the cave maps as well. I already had bats there, so what about the most cliché creature that I haven't added yet? A rat maybe? Nah. Oh, I remember. I wanted to add a spider. So I started drawing one. At first I wanted to put the spider tiles on top of the dog tiles, similar to how I made the bat. But the spider movement was very different from the dogs. So in the end I decided that it would be much easier to create a new Metasprite data. All those legs were a nightmare to animate, and I was not very happy how it ended up looking. But it will do for now. From now on the spiders will be sporadically generated in the caves, and I also put some of the spiders to that room that leads to the small area with trees. Okay, it's finally time to create some new alien creatures. First of all, I had to prepare some space in the CHR RAM for them, because up until now the space for the additional character tiles was occupied by the boss tiles. So what I had to do was to make sure the boss tiles are only loaded when you enter the boss room. So after that was done, I could create a brand new tile set and start adding something to it. Okay, so I already have bats and spiders. So how about a slime? This would definitely show off how creative I am. Plus, it will be super easy to animate this character, because it's just a blob that slides around. So the slime is like a failed version of a werewolf that was produced by the alien base during a malfunction of its machinery. I also wanted to have a more superior version of a werewolf with various metallic implants. This thing would not venture outside, and its main purpose would be to protect the base. I jokingly named this creature Baraka, even though it doesn't look like Baraka from Mortal Kombat. I created completely new Metasprite datasets for these two new creatures. As with the spiders, it was totally pointless to try reusing the animal Metasprites. The last new creature I added was this cat, which you can now find in the granny's house. It is completely useless except for being annoying, but I really wanted to add it there. The last time I improved the cutscene system and made it more robust, so that I could have multiple cutscenes and play them more easily. So now I wanted to put that system into action and create a brand new cutscene for yet another ending. You may remember that the boss asked for the granny's head. So if you bring him what he wants and leave the boss room, you will instantly beat the game. You no longer need to go to the crash site. The new ending cutscene will be played right away. For this ending I just added a quarter of flying saucer and a tiny tractor beam to the sprite tileset. From these parts I could build the whole thing. And that's it. The rest of the graphics were reused. So yeah, now if you play like a complete psycho, the aliens will take you away. After that, I decided to fix the puzzle room a bit, because it was kinda boring and tedious. I improved the interactions with buttons so they could be activated when the character is very close to them, which wasn't possible before. Also fixed the bug where the first button was activated after you open the second and third locks and deactivate second and third buttons. I also moved the buttons closer together, so you don't have to go all the way to the end to reach the last one. And also now you can see the locks while interacting with the first button. And to top it all off, the creatures now will spawn in this room. So it is no longer a safe area. You will have to fight sometimes. Once again, I broke something in my previous update. It was the collisions with the creatures. You could actually bump into some invisible ones. I remember I had a very similar bug before, but now it should be fixed. So last time, in order to make progress bars inside the menu screen, I had to sacrifice the red color that was used for some of the items, and I really hated that. I don't know if you guys even realize how limited the NES color system is. It's just these 4 sets of 3 colors. You might ask why 3 colors, not 4? And that's because the first color is used for the sprite's transparency. You can actually set the first color for one palette and then it automatically would be set for all of them. These limitations are the reason why, for example, I decided not to make different color mushrooms. If I had, let's say, 10 of these palettes, then sure, it would have been a lot easier. I could add a bunch of colorful mushrooms, red, blue, green and so on, but now it's just red and brown. So if I change one of those palettes, that change would affect all the items and creatures that use them. Last time I just changed this one color from red to gray and it made everything in the menu screen much worse. Now I looked at my item list and it appears that I only have 2 items that use the third palette. What if the menu background could use the same color from this palette? And I also could apply this palette to the sprite that goes on top of the progress bar. At first I tried to go with this light orange color, which is, in my opinion, not the best option for a background. Then I changed it to light blue. So when I did that, the rocks and reeds in the menu became blue as well. But I think it's not that bad compared to gray berries. And now I'm going to surprise you. So it's 29th video of this NES game making process. So what if the 31st or 32nd video would be the post-mortem of this game? How about that? Yep, I decided to stop dragging this thing on because I am kinda bored and no longer passionate about the game. And I think that shows. I don't know what some people expect from this game, but I'm not some superhuman game developer with 30 years of industry experience. From a game design perspective, this is probably the most complex game I ever made. So let's face it, it's definitely not going to be a masterpiece. And it doesn't matter how much time I spend on it, in the end, it might end up being not quite right. And I definitely didn't create this channel to just promote this game, so I could, I don't know, sell the cartridges or something. My original goal was, and will be, to explore old consoles and computers of the past and see if I can learn to write code that would run on them. It's going to be impossible to follow my goal if I just stick to this one game for a very long time. So if we would look at the RAM, fortunately for me, I don't have that much space left. It's about 8 kilobytes. So it's more than enough for the final tweaks. So yeah, from now on I will be tweaking the gameplay, fixing bugs, doing the remaining tasks from my list. It will be like 2 or 3 videos, and after that I will be moving on to a new and unfamiliar system. So yeah, that's it. As usual, the shout out goes to the awesome channel members: Retro Sorcus, Tim Beimer, Christopher Vigran, Mr. Kesha, and Sagreen. Thank you guys. And also thank you for watching this video till the end. So I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.